Hey, it's Bob. Just wanted to thank you for signing up for our webinar and let you know that you will be receiving in about 10 minutes in your inbox the instructions for the dial in. In the meantime, I'd like you to grab a pen and paper and watch this tutorial on how to strengthen your client relationships and increase referral in the event the market bubble that so many experts are predicting actually unfolds. I want to take you through a 3-step formula that worked really well in 2008 during the last market collapse to strengthen client relationships so that you can literally thrive on the uncertainty. Imagine this scenario. What if you knew 90 days from now the music was going to stop, there weren't going to be that many chairs left, and this market that's been going up pretty much straight up since 2009 runs out of gas, turns and starts to head south, and as many experts predict, because we've used up so many of our emergency tools, this decline was even bigger than the last three, bigger than the tech bubble, bigger than the housing bubble, bigger than the banking bubble. And what if you had not only a planning strategy, but a communication strategy already in place to help your clients comfortably navigate these rough waters? What if you were in touch with some really powerful tools that allowed you to communicate massively to all of your customers frequently and put them in touch with experts who could give them some guidance, in touch with many of the same people that you turn to for guidance? And what if, because your strategy was one of massive proactive action as opposed to sticking your head in the sand, this gave you a new, powerful opportunity to begin new relationships, to garner new referrals, and to gather new assets? Now, I'm asking all of these questions rhetorically because I know the answer to this is obviously yes. Well, at least I hope it's obvious to you. It was intellectually apparent to me in 2008, but then when September rolled around, back then, if you were in the business, you might remember that it wasn't exactly like warning signs that were coming along. It was more like having a sign that says, "Bridge out, road closed." The yogurt was quite literally hitting the fan. Merrill Lynch and Morgan Stanley were at risk of going out of business. AIG, Bear Stearns, and Lehman Brothers, my original firm, back in the 1980s, did go out of business. Firms like ING, that seemed like they were literally every other commercial, are suddenly having an asset liquidation sale, a fire sale, to keep themselves afloat. And for the most part, advisors found themselves in 3 separate camps. The ones having the most trouble were the ones who had based their relationship with their clientele on the idea that they could deliver superior performance. Those that said they were either better stock pickers, they would find money managers who were better stock pickers. My value fund's going to outperform your growth fund. For those folks, the phone suddenly weighed about 500 pounds. It was difficult to pick up. The second group, by far the largest, were the appeasers, the conciliators, and the handholders. Their strategy was to remind their clients that, hey, these are long-term investments. This is a short-time interruption. Stay the course, baby. And it was rough for them for 6 months or so, but the market bottomed out in March and started to head back up again. The smallest group was the group that I call the indispensable resources. People who have powerfully positioned themselves as the go-to guy or gal inside their client's center of influence anytime the subject of money comes up. And while the world seemed dark For the first two categories, for these guys, the sun was shining and they were making hay. They had worked to position themselves very powerfully from the very first day they met with these clients and had worked to distinguish themselves and position themselves powerfully and positively in the mind of the client. And when the wheels came off the proverbial cart, they amped up that strategy significantly. And specifically what they did was follow three separate strategies. Strategy number one was to significantly increase the amount of communication that they were having with their client and following strategies of marketing one-to-many. They did that through seminars, they did it through webinars, they did it through conference calls to constantly keep their clients updated on the latest and best thinking about what was going on in the marketplace. While many advisors were hiding under their desk or putting their heads into the sand, these few were doing the exact opposite. They were talking to every single one of their clients every single week, often 2 or 3 times per week, or at least giving them the opportunity to have those interactions. Strategy number 2 was to update their clients' financial plans, which gave them the opportunity to do 2 things. Number 1, go back to those clients and gather new assets so that without having to do anything, they could literally, with just a push of a button, because all of the assets were in the account, rerun a current updated financial plan as of this morning. And for those people who use anything that's got Monte Carlo analysis in there, one of the things that you get is probability of achievement. This was powerful because it showed the clients that even though the market looked like it was melting down, and it was a scary time to be an investor, to be an advisor. There was an enormous amount of uncertainty in the market. But even with that, most people's probability of achieving their most important financial goals hadn't dropped by that much. In many cases, only 2 to 3 percentage points. They'd gone from maybe 77 to 74 or 84 to 81 or 79. And obviously, they would also use this opportunity to make any adjustments in the portfolio that had become necessary either through the portfolio getting out of balance or the client's goals and objectives or risk tolerance changing. And third was they set up referral catalyst events, where the event itself became an excuse for their good clients who were very appreciative of the fact that they had increased that level of communication so much, because they're going around hearing friends and work associates saying, man, my broker has completely disappeared. I don't know what I ought to be doing. I'm scared to death. They're saying, man, if anything, my advisor is over communicating with me, and we've already run a new financial plan, and we're down a little bit, but really the likelihood that I'm going to hit my goals hasn't changed all that dramatically. Then with the referral catalyst events, they now have the opportunity to invite those friends and work associates and anybody else in their center of influence to the event. The results of those advisors who followed those 3 simple strategies were an actual increase in business and assets gathered over the course of the next 7 months before the market stabilized and started going back up again, to the point that I had some of my coaching clients telling me not only were they having record months back-to-back in October and November, they were the ones who were already properly positioned and were extremely proactive in executing those 3 strategies. One of my clients, Rob Hausman from Wells Fargo, told me, obviously I do want the market to go back up. I just hope it doesn't start going back up again too soon, because he was having so much success opening new accounts, gathering new assets, increasing the number of referrals that he was getting on a monthly basis, that he literally hoped the sun would continue to shine so he could continue to make hay. So those are the three big steps. Amp up your communication, especially by marketing one to many. Number two, updating the financial plans, particularly if you're using a Monte Carlo analysis, and you can show them the changes in the probability of achievement for their particular plan. Number three is to host referral catalyst events. And back in 2008, I created a product called Catalyst, which was how to use the market meltdown to significantly increase your business. It takes you through 10 separate modules to show you literally everything that you need to do to be able to execute on the strategy. And here's the thing. The people who had the most success during that last market meltdown were the people who were properly positioned before the meltdown started. And I tell you exactly in this program how to get properly positioned now, so when the next market correction comes along, you will be properly positioned to take advantage of all of these strategies. Now, during 2008, we sold this product for $395, and it sold robustly. Sales of it tapered off once the market started to go back up, and people thought, well, the crisis is over. But now we're seeing more and more experts tell us that the next market meltdown is getting closer and closer. Many of them say it's imminent. So I'm bringing the product back out. And as my way of saying thank you for registering for the webinar, you can grab it today for 75% off. And in this, I'll teach you not only the strategies that you can use so that you can properly position yourself, but exactly what to do step by step to execute on those three strategies. What to communicate and when and how. What are some of the techniques that you can use to market one to many? And there's phenomenal technology out there now to help you to be able to do this. How you can position that percentage of achievement so that not only are you giving the peace of mind to your clientele, you can also use it with outside centers of influence to help them position you more powerfully. And how to use these referral catalyst events, specifically the conversations you want to have with your clients to help them position you and to convince these clients to work with you now. And like everything that we sell, this comes with our 365-day guarantee. So even though you're getting it at 75% off now, you're still protected and all of the risk is on me. So go ahead and click that Add to Cart button, and you'll be taken immediately to a digital download page where you'll get a zip file of the full 10-hour program Catalyst. And I will see you in a few days on the webinar where you will begin to discover the brain's objection mastery blueprint. Talk to you in a few days. Bye-bye for now.